Okay, you get a 2-minute introduction and then 2 questions with 1 minute to answer.
Well, thank you, KBAD, for hosting this, and thank you all for sharing your Sunday afternoon with me. My name is Julie Oliver, and I'm running for Congress in the 25th Congressional District. And I know that I'm speaking to a room of informed voters, and so you know the challenges that we are facing, from climate change to 5 million of our fellow Texans who can't see a doctor because they don't have insurance, to education and the funding cuts that the state has done, and leaving our kids behind. We have to change and disrupt politics as usual. And I believe that I am the candidate who can do that. I made a commitment in 2017 when I was the Democratic nominee for this race, not to take a dime of PAC money. And we've got to lead by example. That way you know that I will not be arm twisted behind closed doors when I'm advocating for Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, and truly justice for all, including a pathway to citizenship for our dreamers and our TPS recipients. I know how to fight, I know how to win. In 2018, when this was considered a lost cause of a race, and Roger Williams had a very firm 20-plus point margin on this race over any other Democratic challenger, we shaved 12 percentage points off of his lead, put it within single digits, less than 9 percentage points to go, and we are going to go back and finish the job this November and send Roger Williams back to Weatherford, Texas. As someone who grew up in poverty in South Dallas and at the age of 17 dropped out of high school, ran away from home and got pregnant, I know the power of investing in people. And for those of y'all who are paying your taxes in the early 90s, thank you for making that investment in me. I was able to graduate high school, have my daughter, go into college, and then go to law school. And we really do have a lot of work to do between now and November. And I am so sure that everybody in this room is committed to that work. It is going to be challenging, but we are going to do it, and we are going to make a ripple effect throughout not only just Texas, throughout the United States. So I'm so grateful that y'all are here joining in this fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Running for office is hard work. So what inspired you to run for this office, and why do you think you're the best candidate for it since you are in a contested race?
What inspired me to get into this race is a son I had in law school. He's 23 now. He goes to Texas State. I call him the walking pre-existing condition because my poor boy has had healthcare conditions from the day he was born until present day. He's the reason I got in this. The thought of him not being able to access healthcare someday lit a fire in me, and it made me run. I had no business running. Why am I the better candidate? Because I've done the work. I've gone to all 13 counties. This is not a 1 or 2 county race. This is a 13 county race. And we have to show up for everybody in this race. I also have a 5-year career. When I first came out of law school, 5 years as a tax attorney, spent the next 15 years in healthcare finance. So for 2 of the most complicated policy issues that our nation is facing, taxes and healthcare, I know how we can get there. I know how we can implement Medicare for all. I know how we can pay for Medicare for all. And if we had about 3 hours, I'd love to make this into a healthcare town hall. But that is why I got in this race. Everybody in this country should have the right to healthcare. Thank you.
Thank you. So what legislation would you propose or support to address climate change and other environmental impacts?
So I want to draw on my tax background for climate change, because we know that we need to do, and I do support the Green New Deal, which is a suite of tax policies and legislative proposals. But I don't know if y'all have noticed driving by any of these gas stations, the gas prices have been the same since I was in high school 30 years ago. Something is wrong with that. And you know what is wrong with that? We are using our tax dollars to subsidize the fossil fuel industry to the tune of $650 billion a year, which could eliminate any college debt for any student right now in 1 year. But I do believe that what we need to do is prioritize moving those fossil fuel subsidies from the fossil fuel industry and squarely place them in the renewable space. And I know that we could not only get to 100% renewable energy by 2035, I think we do it much sooner than that by creating that incentive for investment in the renewable space. And Texas has been an energy leader for 100 years. It's going to remain an energy leader in wind and solar technology.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank y'all.
Is Sema Hernandez still here?